Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video of Manor Lords. We're gonna do another guide here, and this one is about the housing or the Burgage plots as they are called right now in the demo version of the game. This is the demo version of the game. It is demo version 0.5.1.1. So it is quite early on in the game's development, so things might change. Things I tell in this video might be outdated by the time that the game fully releases, but it might not, so we'll see what happens. We're going to make the video anyway. So yes, as I said, today we're going to talk about the Burgage plots. Not only about how to build them, because how to build them is quite simple, but there are a couple of things you might want to know about them as well, that the game does kind of tell you, and you can kind of figure out on your own, but I thought I would tell you guys anyway, because it is pretty important information, and it can definitely ease your game. It can definitely make it a lot easier once you know these things. Now, if you want to know how I built this little town right here, I do have another video up on the channel where I talked about the hunting cabin, the store and granary houses, the tannery, and the trading post. So yeah, if you want to know how I built this little town, and if you want to know more about the hunting and about the limits and what you can do and what you should be doing to maximize profit as well, then definitely check out that video. I will link it either below in the description or the comments, or of course in the cards on the top right. But for now, let's go into the building of houses. Now, as you can see, I already have a couple of Burgage plots, is what they're called. Already have, let's see, 7 right here. We're building number 8, and number 9 is also in construction right there, or starting construction anyway. So yeah, the Burgage plots. What can we do with that? Now, the Burgage plots are quite easy to build. You only need 2 timber. So all you need to have is one of these logging camps, 1 worker at least in there, and of course set a work area for them. I will change my work area for this video to make sure that we have plenty of timber available to us. There we go. Awesome. And then let's take another look at the Burgage plots. So Burgage plots, construction cost 2 timber, provides living space for 1 family. When upgraded, grants a development point and extra living space. If large enough, has slots for extensions. Now, the extensions are really powerful. Extensions seem to be really useful. I wish the game had some more statistics, like resource statistics, or some more information telling you about the consumption of certain products and stuff like that. Then I could go into, well, a little bit more in depth about these extensions and the food usage and all that stuff. But for now, we will do it with the basics that we have and know. So let's start building our first Burgage plot in this video. So how it works, of course, you click on the Burgage plot. You can see a couple of options right here, or some more information too. Place area point with left click, cancel right click, road connection point. So road connection points are those white ones right there. And house position and extension slots. So once I start building, the first 2 points that you place, the first 2 area points that you place down, is the entrance of the house. So if I place one here, that will be the entrance of the houses. If I place one here, that means that this will be the entrance of the house. So if I build it like this, as you can see, the entrance will be on the right side. However, that doesn't matter. You can just click on that, and you can also rotate it. So if you accidentally build it wrong, or you prefer to do it this way or something, then you can change the entrance to that, or this, or back there, or to the side. It's really not a problem. But when you start placing them down like this, the entrance will always be where the first 2 points are located. Quite easy, isn't it? Now, as you can see, when I start building them, you can see those extension slots. That is only when they are large enough. If I build it smaller, like right here, there will be no space for extension slots. So if you do want to have those, then you have to build a little bit taller. But honestly, it's not a big difference. Look at that. Like, you only have to build a little bit further, and then you already have your extra extension slot. Let's test the minimal amount that you need for a house. I think it's something like, yeah, something like this. So let's try it like this. There we go. This is pretty much the minimum requirement for your house, which, you know, it saves a lot of space, but I highly recommend getting that extension. It is so powerful, you don't even know, and that's why we made this video. That's what I'm gonna show you. Let's build those. There we go, extension slots and all. That is quite easy. You can just place 4 points around in the terrain, rotate it if you want to change it, and then you can hit the hammer button as I showed you, and then you can start the construction. Now these are already finished. That's awesome. When you start the game, you will have 5 family members. You have 5 different families that you get as workers. And after building 5 houses, number 6 will provide you with a, you know, with a 6th worker of another family, and so on and so on and so on. So every house after the first 5 will grant you an additional worker to work in your buildings, which is really useful, of course. And I talked about this in the other video as well. But I will hover over it just in case, because it is quite important and useful for you know, useful information to know. Assigned families, these peasants will focus on working their job where assigned to. If there is nothing to do for a while, they will help out with other jobs. And the unassigned families, families without a permanent job, will work on construction and repair. And if there's nothing to build, they will help out with jobs with ticked enabled idle labors option. Now I did talk about it in the other video, and you can see it right here. I have it ticked enable idle labors. That means that whenever the other workers have nothing to do, or the unassigned families have nothing to do, they have no building to complete, they will work in whatever place has this one enabled, and it will help out with that, which is really useful. I highly recommend always having 1 or 2 unassigned families, because that will definitely speed up construction of your houses and buildings. And, you know, time is money, so that's quite important. The houses, the Burgage plots are built. That is awesome. In the meantime, I did notice I totally forgot to build myself a woodcutter lodge, which will create firewood for your people. So we nearly froze to death. And since there's no saves in the demo, I almost lost this save file. So yeah, that was fun. But without further ado, let's continue. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually speed up time a little bit. I'm gonna move to March, because in March the spring will start, and then we can continue with our plans for this video. So I'll see you when all the snow is gone, or nearly gone. All right, and here we go. The snow is starting to thaw out. It's going away. That is awesome. And this means we can start working on the extensions. Now, I could have done this in the winter, but there's really no point. Some of them I could have done, but some of them wouldn't have done anything for us. So, when hovering over the Burgage plot, let's click it. And you have a little bit of more information about the Burgage plot, but that's not what we need right now. So when you click on the Burgage plot, you will see, of course, right in the middle right there, upgrades. You can see upgrades to tier 2, which is not what we're going to be talking about today. We'll be talking about that in another video. But we do also see an exclamation mark right there with construct extension. Extensions can provide additional resource yields at the cost of peasants taking time out of their work. Extensions can provide additional resource yields at the cost of peasants taking time to work on them instead of their assigned jobs. So they will be slightly less active on their their permanent job, but that's really negligible. That's almost zero. It really doesn't matter too much, especially if you have a lot of people in your town. It really doesn't matter. So I highly recommend using these extensions. Now, what options do we have for that? Let's see. We have the option to build a vegetable garden, a chicken coop, and a goat shed. Now, as you can see, for the vegetable garden, you need a hammer, a tool, right up here. I have 6 right now. If you want to get tools early game, I highly recommend using the trader. But for the trader, you also need money, of course, to be able to buy those tools. So if you want to know a quick way how to make some money, like I did, I have 200 almost right there, then definitely check out the hunting video I talked about earlier. And also for the chicken coop, you need 25 regional wealth, and for the goat shed as well. So regardless of which one you need, especially early game, you do need to make money. You do need the trader to get those tools. There is a way to craft tools yourself that requires you to build a mine at a iron deposit. I don't know if we have one here on our map. Let's take a quick look around. Do we have one? Yeah, we do have one. So that would require you to build an iron mine, build a bloomery, build a smithy, and then you should be able to make yourself some tools. But that's more late game, and you need more workers for that. I do not recommend doing that early on. I would go for the trader route. But enough talk about that. We have 6 tools. Let's start doing that. It is March, the perfect time to start plowing for a quick summer harvest. So let's make those vegetable gardens. Let's build 6 of them, because that's the amount of tools that I have available to me. That will give us so much food. You don't even know. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be freaking insane, the amount of food that this produces. And that will help us out so much. Please do note, right now I have 41 food available to me. I don't know how I got bread, because I'm not buying bread. Maybe that's the bread I started the game with? I honestly have no idea how I got that. That is really odd. I think I started with that bread, and I still have it, I guess. The only source of food I have right now in this game is the hunting camp. We're hunting animals right there. That is the only source right now. We could do berries, but we haven't done that yet. And I'm not gonna, because I want to prove my point with this. So, yeah. We'll only have the hunting camp right now. That's my only food source. We have 41 food right now in March. And we'll see how it goes later on. Now, we can also do other extensions with the money, as I said earlier. We can do a chicken coop. Let's build a couple of those. There we go. Let's do 2 of those. And let's also do 2 goat sheds right there. So let's take a look at what those do. The vegetable garden, of course, produces vegetables, costs 1 tool, doesn't provide yields in the winter, of course, makes sense. The chicken coop costs 25 regional wealth, provides eggs consistently throughout the year, the whole year. And the goat shed also costs 25 regional wealth, produces milk consistently throughout the entire year. That is awesome. So that is going to provide you with a bunch of food to help your people survive the winter, and also, of course, the rest of the year, of course. That is why it's so useful to have those construction those extension points. That will give you so much more food. Now the milk and the eggs, as you can see, it's already starting to come in. You can already see one milk in there. But as you can see, the farmers, their farm plots, they are working really hard right now to start growing those vegetables. You can already see some seeds in the ground. They're plowing it, they're sowing it, and sooner or later we will have our first summer harvest. That is going to be awesome. So for the purpose of this video, let's speed it up, and then we'll see you guys when the first harvest starts to flood in. Oh, and there we go. As you can see, they are starting to harvest their own crops right there. You can see a couple of them have already done that. It is they only do it in like their free time, or they take a little bit of time off from their job. So they usually don't tend to do the whole garden all at once. But you can see, there you go. You can see them working. Food going up right there. 11 vegetables. That's awesome. And I believe as soon as those vegetables are stored in the house or stored in the granary, it will be shared with the community, and this will all go up. Now, as you might have noticed, my food is really low. My hunter cabin is all done. We have hunted them to 4, and as you can see, I have 5 limits set there, but we have 4, so we do not earn a lot of food from that anymore. So I did have to build myself the forager hut to stay alive. That is, you know, pretty essential, staying alive. But as you can see right there, all those vegetables coming in, 42 and climbing. We have a lot of eggs, we have a lot of milk. It is going up like crazy. So, you know, let's keep going and build more extension stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this hunting camp for a little while so that the wildlife can come back, but also to show you guys how much food we are currently making with all these vegetables. So as you can see right there, we currently have, let's pause the game as well, we currently have 64 berries, we have 1 piece of meat, and we have 107 vegetables. That is how powerful these vegetables are. We have 51 people right now, and each person consumes 1 unit of food per month throughout the year. So yeah, we have a pretty good amount of food right now. We can probably last the winter no problem at that point. Right now we have 4 months of food reserved thanks to those extensions. I mean, of course, we also have a whole lot of berries, so it's not only the extensions. You do need an additional food source as well. Like either the wild animals or the berries, or a combination. Definitely a combination is what I would suggest. That is definitely the best way to go. A combination of all, of course. But this is it. This is what I want to show you guys. The extensions, the house building, the extensions, and the food that you get from it. Definitely make more chicken coops, make more goats, make more gardens, because that will help you out so much throughout your adventures in this game. So that's the end of the video. I showed you guys how the Burgage plot building works. I showed the possibilities with it. I showed you the extensions, what kind of extensions there are, how much it costs. And I've tried to show you as much as possible anyway, what the yields are of the food from the vegetables, goat milk, and the eggs. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then please remember to hit that like button. I will greatly support the channel. Also, please do subscribe if you want to see more of these guide videos on Manor Lords, many other games, or if you want to see gameplay videos or live streams. I do live stream almost every single day, so definitely check that out if that interests you. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day. Until next time. And please also do check out the other videos right here.